Let's just talk about it. Hey, yes. How you guys doing? Hope everybody is doing great. I want to talk about the half marathon. Man, I love racing the half marathon. I think it's the perfect race for everyday runners that are long distance everyday runner. This is the race you want to do. 13.1 miles. And the specific reason why I love this race, it's because there's not so much pressure to be at that threshold pace. It's not like the 5K where you just have to go boom and you just from the get go, you just have to go, right? And at the end, you're just giving it all. 10K, I love the 10K, but I feel like the half marathon is perfect. I also like the marathon, but there's so much pressure also when it comes to the marathon. Some people are in love with the marathon, but even before you run the marathon and experience that race, you definitely want to do a few half marathons to get you ready for the marathon. Actually, people train in their training for marathons. They will do a half marathon to get them ready for that distance. So that is what I believe. Hey, everybody, my name is John Kimani, Coach Kimani. I'm an everyday runner and also coach high school and junior high cross country track here in Arizona. And today I'm going to talk about how to perfect your next half marathon race. I just ran my race and here's the medal. Yeah. I placed second place in my age group, 45, 49, and I came in ninth overall. Now, when I first started running the half marathons, this is my adult life, not when I was a younger dude in my teens or early 20s. I was super fast then. But in my 40s, when I started running again, I was at a 204 sub, no, not, yes, sub 204, 2 hours, 4 minutes, and then 4 or 5 years later, I'm at 131. I wanted to break 130, 1 hour, 30 minutes. But that course, there's so much wind. It was windy. It was crazy. So I didn't go out that fast like I wanted to, but I didn't want to die out. So I was very, very careful the way I did it. And I usually run half marathons in a negative split, just like I would run a marathon, a negative split. And I really like negative splitting. And this is what I'm going to talk about how to perfect this race. If you are a long distance runner, you're not a speedy guy, this is the perfect way to do it. Now you're asking yourself, what is negative splitting? What does that mean? Basically, just like you would work out, progression run, start slow, and then pick up the pace as you go. And then you finish strong and fast. And that's the way to go. And it's also fun because you're catching people on the course. You start slow, you know, and, you're warming up to the race. And then you get to catch some people as you're doing it because a lot of people just go out fast. You don't want to be that guy. I've done that before where the adrenaline is kicking. Man, there's a lot of fans, people yelling, screaming. The cowbells are going on in the start line. The music is bumping, so you just go and you feel really good the first few miles, and then you just die out. So you don't want to do that. You want to negative split, start slow, warm yourself up into the race, and then by mile 5, 6, 7, um, you start locking in, right? So, how I run the half, I'm just going to talk to you first about how I perfect my half marathon races and and this is really helping me improve my times as I race year after year. And I have some goals that I'm reaching. The first mile, the first 3 miles, I'm warming up into the race. I'm not going fast. I'm not thinking pace. I'm not pushing it. I want to feel comfortable. I'm getting out. My breathing is controlled. I'm looking at my form. I'm kind of looking around, enjoying the sights, enjoying the run, even just kind of talking to a few people, trying to find out, hey, what pace are you running today? Kind of see if I can join in with that person, right? So I'm doing that the first 3 miles, okay? And then by the fourth mile, my body is really starting to go, okay, John, let's go. And my body is starting to talk to me, okay, let's pick this up. Let's start picking it up. And that is exactly what I do. That fourth mile, fifth mile, I start picking it up and I start locking in to that pace, right? that tempo pace. Okay. So if I'm training during the week and I have a tempo workout, that is where I'm getting to. So if you think about your tempo workout, I'm not talking about your threshold or your VO2 max. You don't want to do threshold or VO2 max that early. So you want to hit your tempo. So I'm going a little bit slower than tempo. I'm doing moderate to tempo. And then when I hit that tempo at 4, 5, 6, 7 miles, then I see, okay, now I'm locked in. And then what I'm trying to do now, I'm going to drive from tempo to a little bit faster than tempo. And then I hit mile 9. Just like the marathon, you are going to hit a wall. And usually that wall for most people in the half marathon is mile 9 through mile 11, especially if you go out a little bit too fast. If you go out a little bit too fast, you're going to feel good because you probably are used to running the 10Ks, the 5Ks, and all that. But boy, when you hit that mile 9, you're going, oh my goodness, I got like 5 more miles to go, right? And you're thinking, oh, I got 6 more miles to go. You're thinking all these things are happening, and it's a mental game. Okay, your legs are starting to get tired. You're starting to look for that water station. You're starting to do all those things, and your body is just almost done. So you basically hit this dip at mile 9 to mile 11, because also you're smart. You want to finish this race. You don't want to quit in the middle of the race. You're going to finish it. So you start saving yourself. Okay. So mile 10, mile 11, because you went out a little bit too fast, you start saving yourself. And then when mile 11 hits, now you're starting to see, oh, I only got, 2 miles left. Okay. Now I can start pushing again. That's why you got to get over the mile 9 to 11 hump. Every time I start the race, I'm always going mile 9. Remember, mile 9 through 11. The other thing is fueling gels. You gotta. I have 3 gels in the beginning of the race, right before the beginning when I'm doing my strides, right? Because you're doing your warm ups, and the cool thing about the warm ups is you don't want to do too much when it's a half marathon or a marathon. You don't want to do too much. You just want to loosen up your muscles. That's key. Just loosen up, nothing else. You don't want to do those hard sprints. Okay, you take a gel before then, and you make sure you have fluids. Okay, the last race I had to pee so bad, and there's a huge line. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. All right, I'm just gonna hold it throughout the race. But within mile 4, I didn't even feel it anymore. And then I think I had my first gel at mile 5 or 6. Now, what I did in the past, my mistake was I felt like I had to take the whole gel right at once, like right at once. No, this time I just took a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And I usually take it where if I see the water station is coming up in 400 meters, that's when I start taking my gel and I start using my gel. So fueling is really good. Those salt tablets are really good. You can use those. So make sure you have fuel. If you don't have fuel, you're going to bonk. Okay. You will bonk, just like a marathon. And so I do that. That is really, really important. When you negative split, and when I'm negative splitting, I start pushing hard when it comes to mile 11. Okay. Mile 11, because I got 2 miles to go. That's when I hit that threshold. That's when I'm thinking 5K pace. I'm actually thinking 5K pace like mile 10. I'm starting to push my 5K pace because now I've saved up. I have a lot of energy and I'm just going hard. And by the time I'm at the finish line, I'm all spent. Okay. Because I spent this last 2 miles. Now, some people might not be okay with that strategy, but it works for me. And I think it can work for you also. If you're very disciplined, where in the first mile you just get out and you go tempo, or you just hit that pace as fast as you can by mile 1 or 2, and you just stay there. That is what most elite runners do. They have to do that. Elite runners don't have the time to negative split. They have to get up there as fast as possible. But we're not elite runners. We're everyday runners, lifelong runners. We're not trying to be elite or professional. Okay. But again, I keep going back to the 5K. That's why I don't like the 5K. I do about 8 5Ks a year, and each 5K, man, I don't have a good time because I had to get out and go. I don't have time to negative split. I'm just going out and staying at my pace. and sticking there and seeing what's going to happen. That's how I, excuse me, that's how I run the 5K. So what about training? Okay. If you want to do a half marathon and you have specific goals, you want to run the whole thing. If you are the type of person you're going to jog, walk, yeah, training is not as that important because you're not worried about a specific type of pace. If you're worried about pace, you have goals, you have a PR you want to reach. Let's say you're like me and you're like a sub 2 hour guy and you want to hit 150. Your goal is to hit 150. Okay. Training is really, really important. And you want to start your training anywhere from 9 to 12 weeks out. And you're going to grab, I have some training plans. So if you're interested in some training plans, I can help you with that. So you can email me at coachkimani1980@gmail.com. You can email me and I can send you some training plans. But there are hundreds of training plans that are available for you with your specific pace that you want to hit. Okay. So training is really important. You do want to hit 30 plus miles a week. That's your goal. You do want to hit that. I think if you hit that 30 plus miles a week, you'll be great. Some people might disagree with that, but that's a really sweet spot. Some guys, like I'll go up to like 50 miles a week. Okay. My peak is at 50 miles a week, but you don't have to peak at that. You can peak at 40 miles a week, but that's a really good goal. All right, let me slow down for you. You 30 miles a week is really good if you're trying to go under 2 hours. Okay. You want to peak at 35 to 40. 25 miles a week is like your least. 20 to 25 miles a week is when you have a light week. Okay. But if you're hitting those PR goals, and I'm talking to these guys and girls that want to hit those PR goals. Training, the must runs. These are the runs that I have per week. Now I train 5 days a week and sometimes it's 4 days a week, but most of the times it's 5 days a week. So I have the easy run, which is on a Tuesday. So the first run of the week is an easy run. All right. Easy run is not recovery, and I'll explain. After the easy run, I have the tempo run. Okay. Tempo. That's 4 miles, 5 miles at tempo pace. All right. It's a pace that I can handle for an hour. I'm comfortably comfortable. All right. Or a comfortably hard run. That's the tempo run. After the tempo run, I do a recovery run. A recovery run is about 25 minutes run. Now, the easy run that I did is probably about a 7 miler. Okay. The recovery run is about 25 minutes because now I did a hard tempo. Okay. That's 3. And then I'll take a break. Right. After I take a break, then I'm going to come back and I might do an easy run progression. So easy, moderate to a progression. Okay. That's after I took that one break. I might do that run. Okay. The other run, I'll do the other workout. It must is your threshold VO2. Those are your repeats, 400-meter repeats, 800-meter repeats, 1,000-meter repeats. You're doing ladders. You're doing those things. Okay. And then after that, I might take another break or not. And you always have to have that long run, 60 minutes plus. Okay. So if you're running the half marathon, you want to start hitting those 10 milers, 15 milers, or you can do 1 hour, 30 minutes, 90-minute. You have to have those long runs. You can have those long runs every other week. You can do that. And then you also want to do those mile repeats. In there, I do some mile repeats in there, but those are the most important runs. Let me repeat that again. Easy run, tempo, recovery, okay, long run, threshold. Those are the 5 that you need to have. And it's always, always important to know your pace. Man, study your pace, know your pace, and increase from there. That is what you have to do. And that is what I do to increase my time. And I work hard. Remember to take rest 6 to 8 hours a day, that you're sleeping well. Make sure you're sleeping well. Make sure your diet is on point. Limit alcohol. Please do that. If you enjoy drinking alcohol, limit soda intakes also, right? So your diet is really, really important. And when it comes to race day, have fun. When it comes to race day, have fun. And one more thing before I leave, I'm going to add this. During your training, you want to add a 10K race in there or a 5K race. If it's 12 weeks, I would recommend you to add a 5K and a 10K race in there. This will give you an opportunity to do your prep, your race prep. It's going to get you ready for those race, and then it's also going to simulate your race day. So those races are going to help you. But when you do the 10K, especially the 10K, don't go out too hard. That's not, you're not chasing your PRs, you're not doing all that, you're not chasing the podium, you're not doing all that. You're just getting out there to get used to racing. Now your 5K, that you can go hard. You can go hard, but don't do any race a week before or even 2 weeks before. You can do a 10K race 3 weeks before, so that when it comes to race day, you make sure you're ready to go. And I know I said I'm going to close with this. The last week of race, don't go hard, taper. 3 to 4 runs are enough. You don't have to go hard. You can do some strides, some nice sprints, but don't go hard that last week. Don't do no tempo runs. Don't do all that crazy stuff. Just enjoy that last week. Make sure you're rested well. Make sure your legs are fresh to go and you are ready to hit this thing. All right. Hey, my next half marathon is Lake Havasu half marathon here in Arizona. It's in the border of California and Arizona. And if you're going to run that, hopefully I can see you at the Lake Havasu half. All right. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, let's go. Let's do this.